The following program may contain subject matter and language suitable for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
And welcome back to another episode of The Meltdown. He's Jeff.
He's Norm.
And today we are going to be talking about the best and worst marriage proposals.
All right.
We're going to be reading a list of some of the best. Lou Saracino will be here to give us his take on it. And then, of course, we're going to be reading some of the worst. And in some of the best, I am going to also tell you what I did, because it was pretty freaking cool. And it took a lot of work.
right.
A lot of work. So let's start the show, because we got a lot to get to today. Let's start the show with some Meltdown fun facts. All right, so here we go. 12 marriage proposals that will make you believe in true love. You ready for this, Jeff?
Oh, yes.
Two travel photographers, Austin and Esther, had a well-established and totally cute ritual of leaving notes for each other in airport Starbucks locations from Los Angeles to Cambodia. But in July 2017, after 6 years of dating and note leaving, Austin upped the ante in a Starbucks tucked away in the Amsterdam airport. His note for Esther told her to ask at the counter for a drink he had supposedly pre-ordered for her. After reading the note, she turned toward the counter and saw a sweet surprise. Austin himself down on one knee with a ring. Everybody on three. 1, 2, 3. Here's another one. Professional pilot Nate Rigos took his long-term girlfriend, Naia Leventis, for a romantic private flight. Once they were at cruising altitude, Nate pulled a ring from his pocket and asked Naia to take a look out the window at the message he'd painstakingly drawn in block letters in the sand of the beach below. Marry me, Naia. Yeah, that's also awkward. Yeah. Here's another one. How's this for amazing? Tori Monaco and Berkeley Cade both unknowingly planned their respective proposals to each other for months. Then, during a game of Pictionary this February, they accidentally proposed to each other at the same time, thanks to a little coordination by Cade's mom.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? Yeah. Moving on, 2 years after Bonnie was shot in the knee during the 2012 Aurora, Colorado movie theater shooting, Max, her filmmaker boyfriend, was ready to propose. After nestling into their seats at a Baton Rouge theater, hidden cameras recorded Bonnie's reaction as she watched a special film trailer produced by Max about a man planning an epic proposal for his girlfriend, and then Max turned to her and revealed a ring. Well, that's pretty cool. And not a lot of ordinary people could ever pull that off, right? Yeah. All right, here's another one. In 2014, Air Force Captain Eric Straub, who had reportedly just returned from duty in the Middle East, marched onto the middle of the Arizona Cardinals field and knelt down to propose to his cheerleader girlfriend, Claire, surprising her right in the middle of her halftime performance. Here's one more. In 2016, Cornelius Bascom spent months planning what Rachel Jordan assumed was just a fun couple's photo shoot, but actually turned out to be an incredibly romantic Los Angeles rooftop proposal. Jordan had no idea what was in store when she spun around in a shower of rose petals for a photo, only to find that Bascom had knelt down and produced a ring, a gorgeous moment that, thanks to Bascom's preparation, was caught on video. All right, moving on. Australian MP Tim Wilson interrupted his own speech on same-sex marriage during a parliamentary debate last December to propose to his stunned partner of 7 years, Ryan Bolger. Bolger, who was listening from the public gallery, responded with a yes. One more here. First, Lucas D'Onofrio and Tamara Bruzzo were high school sweethearts. The couple grew even closer when Bruzzo was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma at just 21 years old, and D'Onofrio was by her side through every stage of her treatment. Then in June 2015, right before her 6th and final chemotherapy session, D'Onofrio surprised her with the best celebration possible, a wedding proposal. That's nice. Here we go, another one. Adam Huffman convinced his girlfriend, Merritt Wilkinson, that there would be some extra scenes played after the showing of Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle at their local North Carolina theater this March. To Wilkinson's surprise, a video of Huffman appeared on the screen after the movie credits, showing photos of all the stages of their relationship and asking a series of questions that culminated in, "What if right now in this movie theater I got down on one knee and asked?" He did, and she said yes. A lot of these are public proposals,
right, yes.
and a lot of women have warned their, boyfriends, whatever you do, do not propose to me with other people around. I don't want to feel pressured to have to make a decision because I don't want to disappoint people. And yet, what do? Men, what do? We craft these crazy public proposals, because maybe we know that's the only way they're going to say this. Here's another one. Last January, Derek Mead proposed to his soon-to-be wife, Susan Medina, with the aid of their one-day-old son. Ryder was clad in an adorably, specially crafted onesie with the message, "Mommy, will you marry my daddy?" How could she refuse? All right, here's another one. Dean spent 365 days piecing together the ultimate proposal. Then, while vacationing in Aruba on Jennifer's 26th birthday, he finally handed her a tablet and pressed play. Astonished, Jennifer watched a video of him popping the question every day for the past year. She then turned around to find Dean on one knee, proposing in person. That's a big oh. Oh, come on, Jeff. Have a heart. Oh. Wow, you're cold. All right, here's the last one on this list. In the midst of a chilly Chicago winter, Rodney insisted Alexa remove her gloves to pour over her Christmas present, a hand-drawn flip book documenting their relationship. Alexa flipped through it to find a ring hidden in a compartment in the back cover, ready to slip on her bare ring finger. So there you go. All right, so I promised that I had a story last week, and I do have a story. So picture it, Ottawa, 10 years ago, Pam's 40th birthday. Okay, Pam was my girlfriend at the time. So I had planned this ridiculously surprise party. She's a very, very difficult person to surprise. Okay, because she's a question asker. She's detail oriented. She'll find things that are out of place and grill you on why they're out of place. Right. So it's very difficult. But 6 months before her birthday, which was in December, 6 months before, I went on to Facebook. Because we were connected on Facebook, I could see all of her Facebook friends. So I secretly messaged. I started messaging each and every one of them. I gave them the date. I gave them the place. I arranged everything. Right. I said, please free up this date. It's going to be a very, very big night. I promise you. Okay, this is going to be a surprise. Yeah. So this is 6 months. I also wanted to do a tribute video for her. So I put together a tribute video in which I had a bunch of her friends come here to the studio and basically just say happy birthday message to Pam, whatever, do a little song, do a little dance, whatever they wanted to do. Plus people that she couldn't see on her birthday because they lived in Vancouver or Korea, places like that, France, all of these different places. I encouraged them to send the videos in so that they would also be on the video, which was amazing. Right. So then, so I got all that, I got that ready. I had to organize, how do I play this? On a laptop, I need a sound system. Because it's going to be a busy kind of bar. And we did it at the Pump on Elgin Street. So I had everybody do that. I was getting the video ready, whatever, phone messages, even some hockey people called because Pam's really big into hockey and her sister happened to know a couple of broadcasters, Dean Brown, Gord Wilson. Right. And they called in phone messages, had their pictures on the video while they were phone messages going. And it was just a stellar video. And I ended it with me. And I said, so, just wanted to say that, all these people are your friends, whatever, but, nobody loves you as much as I do. And so I was just wondering if you'd marry me. That's how I ended the video. And then I had a question thing come up with the Jeopardy music. Okay. And it said 1 yes, 2 no, 3 maybe, but, and I had some comical things written in there, whatever. And then she turned around to look at me and I had a ring in my hand. Okay. Now here's the thing. You don't understand the work that was involved in doing this, okay? Because we had a lot of people phoning in messages,
Right.
okay? And at the time, we had that Rogers channel that you could turn to and you could see everybody who called.
Oh, okay.
So I had either myself or my son go through that list daily and erase all the messages so that she wouldn't just happen to go on that channel and say, oh, why did my friend call? And whatever. Yeah. So it would start to look weird. That's fine. Then she really wanted to celebrate at a place called Chez Lucien, right downtown. You know, Chez Lucien, best burger in Ottawa. And that was her go-to place when she was younger. But it wasn't available. Couldn't get it. They just couldn't manage the number of people in the private room, so it was a done deal. But I knew I was doing it at the pump. We had it all set up. Everything was good. But over the months, so like maybe 3 months, 2 months, I had plans. I had friends call her or text her and say, hey, listen, got the invite to your party, but there's no way I can get to Chez Lucien at that time. Or do you know what I mean? And then they would slip it out, and she wasn't supposed to know anything. So she thought they screwed up. And then we got a guy to call on our way to the pump. He texted her and said, hey, listen, I'm at the pump right now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to Chez Lucien because there's this like teachers thing going on, and but I have something for you. Do you have time to stop by for a drink at least, just so I can give you your present? And of course, when Pam asked me, and I knew this was coming, right? So Pam asked me, and I said, come on, like, you know, no, I made specific plans. You know, timing is everything here. Yeah. And she was, you know, kind of like, oh, I guess. And then I, oh, okay, fine, one drink, quick though. It's got to be fast. Okay, we get out of the car, walk into the pump. Surprise! Everybody was there. Yeah. And then, of course, the marriage proposal. Yeah. So it was a fantastic evening. So kudos to me. Did a great job on that.
Yeah, you did put a lot of work into it.
I did. It was 6 months, and I'm telling you, it was worth it. Every penny of it. Okay, so here we go. That was my story. I hope you enjoyed that. And now let's go to Lurser. Let's go to Lurser Churner for a Meltdown Murdered with Lur.
Hey everybody, this week we're talking about wedding proposals, overly elaborate wedding proposals, you know, all of these big kind of to-dos that some people do, right? So for example, you know, you're at a football game, minding your own business, by the way, and then all of a sudden up on the jumbo screen, or Jumbotron, there's a wedding proposal, which I find super weird, and yeah, okay, that took some courage, I suppose, to do that, but then you're also like, what if she says no? And then what? Then you're in front of 100,000 people, and she's like, nah, we're not that close. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. And I think part of the problem, folks, is that we live in an era where our view of romantic love is a little bit skewed. And whether it comes from Nora Ephron movies, it totally does, or whether it comes from just how we approach stuff, I'm not really sure. But I find this need to have it elaborate is a bit weird. Because if it was me, I would just ask. And I would just ask because generally, I'm just happy if a naked woman is letting me touch her. That's like once I get there, I feel pretty good. It's after that I feel the shame. It's only after because I'm Catholic. That's how that rolls out. Shame and guilt.
Thanks, Lur. And now for some Meltdown stupidness. Okay, here we go. From the I guess, department. The 10 worst marriage proposals of all time. Number 1, all the confusion. A guy I knew, a really stupid guy, got his girlfriend a diamond ring as a birthday present, not intending any larger message. She unwrapped it and said, "Oh, stupid guy, of course I will." He went through with it rather than deal with the awkwardness. Didn't last. Don't propose if you don't mean to propose. For God's sake. Number 2, the big drop. A guy wanted to propose to his girlfriend at Disney World. Very common, usually in front of the castle, usually with staff involved for pictures and stuff. Usually Disney will do what they can do to make it special. But no, this genius, this man of men, decided he had to step it up a notch. Decided to do it on Splash Mountain at the peak, right before the drop. And he dropped the ring. Ooh. Yikes. All right, here's one. The almost heart attack. My wife says the way I proposed was a traumatic experience and she wishes that I had done something a bit different. She was 6 months pregnant with our first child. We were living in our first shared crappy apartment getting ready to go to a fair. Why I didn't do it at the fair or something, I couldn't tell you. What I did do was mostly tell her that there was something we needed to talk about. I sat her down and proceeded to tell her there was something bugging me in the relationship, and the way I see it, there's only one way to fix it. Will you marry me? She genuinely thought I was breaking up with her and leaving her stuck with a child to raise on her own before those last words came out. She started crying and eventually hit me, then said yes. I'm a lucky man to have her. I just wish I could have asked a little different way. Well, I mean, really, the idea here, it's supposed to be a very romantic moment, not, Good intentions, and a plan. The plans work in your head, right?
That's true.
All right, here's one. Toilet love. Ooh, exactly. She was on a date with her boyfriend, and they both got back to her place. He went to the bathroom, and then she went in after. While in there, he called to her, "Hey, did you see what I left you?" She said, "I'm not looking in there. You're gross." She then opened the door to ask him what the hell was wrong with him, and he said, "Oh, you ruined the surprise. I taped your engagement ring to the underside of the seat cover." Well, I don't know.
Sanitary.
I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know that that's a good idea in any way whatsoever. Okay, number 5, the diet plan. I found this one to be... The way my dad proposed to my mom, it just happened randomly. Dad said, "How much weight do you think you can lose by September?" Mom said, "Wait, what?" Dad said, "I was thinking we could have the wedding then."
But only if you're down to 130.
Yeah, he's not known for having a lot of tact. I guess not.
You're going to have to fit into that wedding dress.
Say, do you think you might not be as ugly a year from now?
Because come the wedding night.
Yeah, really. I don't
want to have to look at all that extra fat.
Right.
Not that I'm doing well myself either, but I'll try to lose weight myself too.
All right, here we go. Number 6, they start as they mean to go on. My dad's method was pretty bad. He was supposed to pick my mom up from work on his motorcycle, and he was late. She was pissed and chewed him out the entire way home. When they got home, he was fuming and said something along the lines of, "You want to know why I'm fucking late? Here," and slammed down the box with the ring in it. He had been late because he was picking it out. I learned this when I told my parents I was going to propose to my girlfriend and was told that I should not, by any circumstance, try that method myself. All right, number 7, all the cheese. I proposed to my wife using the police. I had her get pulled over, and then they told her she was the suspect in a theft crime. She got all nervous, and then the police officer pulled out a picture of me and told her, "You stole this man's heart." Then I got out of the back of the cop car and dropped the knee. She liked it. You know what? That would be if I hadn't have done it the way I did it. I would have loved to have used a third party. The police or somebody, something that would make it seem so unlike that wasn't going to happen.
It's 2 shows in a row where the police have come up. Sting last week.
Well, that's true. That's true. Must be a cop thing. We should do a show about which we have. So never mind. All right, number 8, the rash decision. Drunk at a rock festival with a ring made of 2 pieces of grass knotted together. She said yes, and I realized I'd made a terrible mistake. Alcohol. Alcohol. All right, here's number 9, the STD. My ex cheated on me when we broke up, spoke some, and decided to work on it. It had been, at that point, a 2-year relationship and just a week away from Valentine's Day. I refused to sleep with him again until he got tested. I didn't think he actually had something. He did, an incurable something. He came over, told me. I cried. I said something to the effect of, "If I have this, I'm ruined for anyone else." "Well, if you have the STD, you'll want to get married," he said. That is really romantic.
Yeah, romantic is a toilet thing.
Here's number 10, literally the worst. My dad walked through the living room and tossed a ring at my mom. 27 years married, by the way. Oh. So I guess, it really depends. It's a personal thing. It's, whatever you think. But I do think that some of these ideas sound amazing in your head, but just should never be carried out. Right?
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy stuff.
I'll say.
Yes, next week we're going to be taking a look at serial killers. What makes a serial killer? What are some of the interesting facts about serial killers? And is there anything stupid about how maybe they've left... Although, they do say the serial killers really do want to be caught, but they just want to make it really tough for you to catch them. And, they'll give you all kinds of clues. They might even show up on the scene, whatever. But next week should be a very interesting show. Please join us for that. In the meantime, I'm Norm,
And I'm Jeff.
and this has been The Meltdown. Bye-bye.